it's tax them big, Bloomberg, or give everything away free, socialistic Sanders, clearly it's coming down to the very strong likelihood that all of us listening, our taxes are a threat. And I want to teach you that you can do something about it. Now, give me just like maybe a minute here, and I'll keep this short and sweet. We actually are finding that even under the Trump Tax Cut and Jobs Act, the ability to untax or de-tax as well as de-risk a client's portfolio, especially with the uncertainty of an election year and clearly the uncertainty of maybe one of the most contentious presidential elections in our country's history, this may be the lowest we see taxes, at least for a year, at most maybe 5 years, that we may ever see again. I think of a client we just met with, similar to you listening, your friends and neighbors, typically our clientele that we're able to help thrive in retirement, for baby boomers and retirees to thrive in retirement, are typically between the ages of 50 and 80 and have saved at least a couple $100,000 or more in tax-deferred accounts. That description is the biggest tax target as it relates to a lot of programs that are going to cost a lot of tax, one of which is the Medicare for All program. So to put that in perspective, Bernie Sanders wants to add $60 trillion on top of what we spend over a typical decade by more than double. We're projected to spend about $52 trillion over the next 10 years. Sanders wants to put another $60 trillion on top of that. To put that in perspective, what it takes to spend $1 trillion, some of you I think will be taken back. If you spend $1 a second, which is $86,400 a day, which is $31,500,000 a year, guess how many years it would take to spend $1 trillion if you were spending over 31 million a year? Over 32,000 years, folks. So I want you to think about where that's going to be paid from. And the projection is a value-added tax, like we've seen in Europe, will somehow get implemented within these next 10 years. At the tune of somewhere between 20 and 40%, on top of adding another 8% to payroll taxes, on top of raising federal tax rates as high as 70%. Well, I think about a friend and neighbor, similar to you in the profile I gave, that we were able to show over these next 10 years by untaxing his IRAs, by getting the government out of his IRAs and 401ks, by removing Uncle Sam from his children and grandchildren's future inheritance. It was a change of almost $1 million over the next 10 years. I shared with some of you prior that just a 401k example on a couple that had $410,000 in an IRA over these next 10 years, we were able to save over almost $1.3 million. And that's folks assuming for the next 10 years, tax rates don't go up. Here's the opportunity. You've worked hard for your money. We understand the frustration, and you don't have to worry. There's no sales pitch or worn out Wall Street message. Simply go to taxessaved.com. That's taxessaved.com and request a saving tax optimization plan analysis. Now, it's not a cost or an obligation. You don't have to worry. There's no sales pitch. But by requesting that, I want to get you my guide, the retirement and your taxes, how to protect your IRAs from the IRS and your inheritance from Uncle Sam. And by doing so, that'll be sent to you right away. And the response we've had has been so overwhelming in a positive way. The amount of tax we're able to show people. One client said, Chuck, it's just like you talk about, you can't be aware of something you've never been made aware of. We had another client this week said, well, I wish I would have learned this 5, 10, 20 years ago. Folks, it's your money. This may be the most important year. 2020 may be the year to save the most that you can on the tax of your money. Simply go to taxessaved.com. That's taxessaved.com. And imagine more time, more money, more memories. Taxessaved.com.